Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Eustace Farmer and I would like to welcome you to the Old Streams Farm version 2. So this update, they've done some pretty significant changes, so it looks great. So that does mean you're going to have to start a new game save. I did port over on the map that I'm playing my vehicle XML, and that worked just fine. However, there's a couple of things you need to be aware of when doing that. The sheds over here by the sheep, and these in the back, these especially have been moved forward a little bit. So if you have stuff in here parked up against the walls, you're going to find it on the other side. So you're going to want to move that stuff out of here before you port your vehicle XML over. But the career game save, no bueno. You're going to have to start over if you'd like to take full advantage of all the nice new changes, and I think they're well worth doing. So let's go ahead and have a look at all the changes right after this.
Silent scan.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's start off over here at the sheep. So I think one thing that is immediately noticeable, let me step back here and I'll put the other picture up on the screen for you. So here the back wall of the sheep den has been opened up, so you can pull around through there and dump some straw in there if you'd like. The pitchfork has made it back. However, let me show you here. The trigger is right there. So this pitchfork should not be interfering with the wool pallet trigger like it did in the previous version, so it should be good to go. Just hop over that. So another thing is the water trough has been moved. It used to be over here where the back wall used to be. It used to be right along that back wall, so it's right on the side. So you can open up the gate and back right in and water your sheep right from here. So that's pretty convenient. Really well thought out. It would have been nice to see these gates working. But they don't in this version either, and I downloaded the placeable mod that's in the mod hub. It's the rusted fencing. Really nice mod, works very well. It has working gates and placeable fencing, and it really adds a nice touch. And I'll show you what I did on my version of the map that I play once we're done here. Okay, so the next big thing they've done, the pigs. So the manure no longer piles up in the corner out here. This is where you used to drop the animals off. This is where you will collect your manure now. So it's behind a closed door, which is nice. So you have all this area out here to store things. Your slurry will still be picked up here, and the pigs will still, you'll fill up your water tank here. Now, this area over here, this feeding trough used to extend all the way down. So they put a nice hand-stacked cinder block wall through half of it and left this portion open, and that works out just great. I tested over here. This is the animal drop-off point, and it does work just fine. And there's little wooden gates here, and you'll have to open those before you back in. And then you come in and drop off your animals. And these work too. Okay, so you can come all the way in if you'd like to. And again, that allows you to go ahead and dump straw over here, or you can blow it in from over here instead of over the wall over there. So very nice. Now, one of the biggest concerns for myself is, and let me just jump into a tractor real quick so I can show you. My biggest concern has been silage. Because in a lot of maps, the silage bunkers have been a real problem. And I know in FS17, because of scripting and everything else, silage has been an enormous headache for a lot of modders. This has been worked out very well. So I put, there's like a little over 60,000 liters in that one, and there's 120,000 in the back. So all three are fully functional. If I come in here, I can clip through the wall. And as you see, they do go through the wall a little bit. But being that the cover also extends over it, you should be able to shovel it right up because the walls are a little bit soft. So I would think that was done intentionally to kind of thwart this little problem. But no errors, no nothing. I've been on some maps where the silage is just like billowing out the sides and out the back, and that has not been the case here today. So here's the back wall for this, and if I clip in just a little bit, you'll see it's nice and flush right up against the wall. And this is the way that I like to do silage on the right. It's the way I've seen it been done, where it's all pushed up and compacted against the wall, and you keep adding more and more and compacting it, and that lends to the fermentation process, I guess. I've never really seen the spreading out process. So, but that's my style over there. Neither one of them I'm going to say is wrong. It's just I've never seen this way here. So I wanted to make sure that both ways work. And then back here, same thing. This is now fully functional. And you'll notice that they have aged the walls. They made them all sooty and dirty. And the bunkers are significantly higher, much larger now. And as you see here, it does clip out here through the side on this one. And let me tell you, I worked hard to try to push this silage through the walls. So just to have just that little bit to me is impressive. So this you should be able to recover. Now here's a spooky little thing. When I came across this update, I had just got done making some changes to the map, and one of the changes I made was I placed this particular placeable here, right in that spot. And then lo and behold, when I loaded up the updated map, boom, there it was, right where I had placed it. So that was pretty cool. Of course, they've added the little vines on there and all that stuff. I did remove theirs because my placeable one is a bit more forward, so you can drive around the back and come in like with a header. So I think that's it for back here. Now, one thing I see that still exists, and I will say there is quite a lot of brooms and shovels and wheelbarrows around. You got a shovel here, we got one over there, we got a broom over here, got another shovel over here. So we've got shovels. We got shovels. In the previous version, I found it very difficult to get 100% cleanliness, cleaning up this area. Now, I did put it through the Giants editor, and I found when I had removed this particular piece here and this one down here, I had found grass behind it, underneath it. And I'm suspecting that was the culprit. You know, I couldn't clean it up because I couldn't clip through this, therefore you can't get it all. So once I removed all that, it was good to go. And despite all that, I still put the animal table manners mod in, and I can, you know, take it in and out, you know, accordingly. You know, if I do want to do some animal cleanup, I can just, you know, take it out temporarily and do an episode with animal cleanup. But if, you know, if I'm not going to be doing that, then I can put it back in, which is great. In my version also, I did turn off the chickens. I'm sorry, I know it can lend a little character to the farm, but I'm not a big fan of the free-range chickens. I like them in their own little home area where they're not getting run over by the tractor. So this area pretty much looks the same all through here. Now, let me go ahead and jump up in the air. So this area here, this was another thing that I was kind of like, believe it or not, let me get out for that wire before I electrocute myself. Okay, so I was just like, oh darn it, because in the previous version I had placed the Mom's Diner mod over here, and it looked all nice. I had it all out here in the parking lot with a milk trigger behind it and everything. And then in this version, they got rid of the ground and put the grass here. So thankfully the ground is still under there, as you see. It's just that they have the grass growing over the top of it. So two things you can do. You can go into the Giants editor and remove the grass that way, or if you go into miscellaneous, you get this roller. You put that on the back of your tractor and roll back and forth, and it's going to go ahead and delete all that, and it's not going to grow back. So that's a quick and easy way without fooling with the Giants editor. And, you know, the thing to note here is that whatever it touches, it's going to get rid of. I mean, not this, but like grass. So if you're rolling back here and you want to preserve the grass over here, make sure that you lift it up before you back up. Otherwise, you're going to go ahead and delete it, and then you're going to have to come and plow up and plant new grass if you want it back. You might even want to push the roller in here a little bit if that bothers you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up both maps, and I'm going to show you a side-by-side comparison, because not only like over here did he do some terrain sculpting, and you'll notice here now there used to be a steep kind of drop off over here. He's smoothed that gradient down, and he's put some nice hedges around over here to square that off. So this little area here is shrunken a little bit, and then he put some hedges in here, and then there's little knickknacks added in. I'm not a huge knick-knack person. I like to have some things like that laying around to lend character to the farm, but I will be quite honest, I think for me there's a little too much on this one, so I do, you know, take off some of them. Like I said, in the cowshed, I don't need 3, 4, 5 shovels and 6 brooms and all that. I'm good with 1 broom and 1 shovel, and I can carry it around until I break it, and then I'll go get a new one. Okay. So, not much has been going on in the lower portion of the map, in the southern half. But if you look above the river, starting to the left of Field 2, if you look at Field G7, in the old version, that was quite an irregular shape. So G7, Field number 5 has changed. They're much more squared off now. And then if you go up to Field G1, that's a grass field. In version 2, he put the edges back on. It was kind of cut off at the corners, so that's nice and squared off now. And this is going to be a bit more worker and courseplay friendly for those that use courseplay. And then Field G2 has, really been squared off. And that looks about it as far as the fields go. So he's done some grading, and I don't know how many of them work on the map, but they've done some pretty good changes with those. So, and it's nice that they did it to the larger fields, because that's where you're more apt to use the workers in courseplay. So very well thought out. So what I will do here, I'll let you take in the map a little bit, and I'll just read off real quick some of the changes. And there's a short list down here. Let's see. All fields have been revisited. Silo bunkers have been adjusted. New bunker silos. New pig zone. ETA is larger. New short grass and deco grass deletable. So that's really cool. So like the grass that was surrounding, like G7, it's a grass field. The middle, is crop grass. But the decorative grass around the edge, when you drove over it or tried to mow it, you couldn't. So it looks like you can now, which is great. New sheep zone, which we saw, and there's selling for manure and liquid manure. So for solid and liquid manure, you can sell that now. And then many other improvements. So there's one other little thing that I wanted to show you, because I just saw a note that I jotted down. So right over in here, there used to be like a little enclosure back here. There was a old brown wooden door, and there was like a closet over here you couldn't get into. So he got rid of that, and he opened it all right up. And that's pretty cool, because like I said, just earlier today, I went into the version I was playing and I deleted that because I wanted to use that space. I'm getting great FPS on the map, as you can see up in my upper left corner, 142, 143. Very well done. Alrighty, so I just wanted to show you real quick some of the changes that I've made on the map. We'll start off over here. I just took that stuff off of the top because I could put stuff of my own up there. So I'd like to be able to use that area. I did take the decorative fertilizer pallets tanks out of here, just so I can back stuff into there more effectively. And there were some old steel doors over here and gates. I took those out. I left the tire because in real life, if I was backing up a tractor or something in here, just to make sure I didn't put the linkage through the wall, I could see myself rolling a tire back there as a cushion, so I left that. And then over here, I just kind of took some of this stuff out of the corner because there was some barrels and tires. Because I can, put something over there, get it out of the way. And then in here, I just kind of took off some of the bales that were over here, just so I have more room for wool pallets and stuff. And as you see, they're spawning nicely, even with the pitchfork there. So they worked that out swimmingly. And then here's the gates. So these are in the Giants Mod Hub, and I don't remember if they're in beta or if they've been fully released now, but they're in the Giants Mod Hub, and they're great. You just hold your mouse down, click to open. You got to hold it down, though. And there you go. So, of course, I wanted to take the decorative ones out of here because it looked kind of silly having, gates already there and then these on top of it, so... But they blend in a bit better than the picket fence ones did that I had before. Now, one big thing you might have noticed, maybe you didn't, no chickens. Now, I did not delete the chickens. I turned off the chickens. You don't make a windfall profit with eggs, so you know, no loss for me. So as you see in here, the most important thing is, well, here's what I was talking about. The reason why the hay bales were here is because it covers up, you know, gives a finished edge to this texture here. So that's why they did that. It doesn't bother me to have that. So, I mean, how much would you look at it coming in here? You know, like a split second, maybe not at all. So I took all that bric-a-brac out of here, because in real life, if I'm going to be pulling through here often to feed my animals, I don't want anything in the way. Oh, and look at that. See, I forgot to take the 2 wood boards, so I got to go back in there and take those out. Got floating wood. And then I just took a few things out of here. There was a couple of like round hay bales, decorative, that were sticking out, so I took those out. And then back here, I went along here and I fenced this in. I made like a little corralled area here, coming out of the silage, and then it comes along the back here, and then it meets up with the hedges. Now originally, before the hedges were here, I had it all the way around, and I also had it along the back of this silage bunker, because before there was a big grass hill, there was no wall back there, so I put the fence back there as well. And then when I came in to this one, I found my fence was sticking 3/4 into the ground. So yeah, so it just added a nice little touch. I'm going to be doing a future episode as well concerning this little place here. So I took a piece of wall out and I put one of those nice old iron gates in here. Metal gates, not iron. Oh, and over here, I gated this in, because I figure if you're going to have the back of the farm closed off, I mean, it's kind of stupid to have the front wide open. So I put these in over here. So, and like I said, placeable. There was a big wood pile here, so I got rid of that, and I just put these in. And I took away some of the tires and the old fencing. Now, another thing you probably wouldn't notice, but I'll point it out to you. In the previous version, this little monument was set further back, and this bench was parallel to this railing over here. And there was a bit more grass, and it was growing out to here a little bit. So this has been moved forward, and some, you know, right up to the cobblestone there. So very nice. And like I said, in the episode that I'm about to film, we're going to be talking about this little monument, so I won't say much more about that. And then back here, this is what I showed you in the other portion of the video. So as you see, I just took out the grass, and just to illustrate, I rolled out this portion. And like I said, it works perfectly. And then this section over here I removed in the editor. So either way, if you don't want to go into Giants Editor, just get that roller and you're all set. This is a placeable shed that I downloaded. It's in my mods list on the forum. The only thing about this one here is it doesn't place well. Well, I can't really say that. It places just fine, but it has to be on level, flat terrain, because if it's on any irregular terrain at all, you're going to get a huge lip over here, and you're not going to be able to put nothing in there. And then here's the diner. So I put that over here, and I put a little milk trigger back here, so we can sell some milk to good old Mom's Diner. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, just a little, you know, primping and trimming, but just little things to, you know, just try to make it a little bit more accustomed to how I like to play. So I want to thank you very much for joining me. Let me know what you think down in the comments section of my little edit that I did on the map, and what you think of version 2 in general. Will you be playing it, or will you be carrying on with the version that you're already playing? If you haven't tried old streams yet at all, does this interest you to help you want to play it? Let me know. So until next time, take great care of yourself, my friends, okay? Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.